And I'm the lighting director here at Yavapai College's Performing Arts Center. Today I wanted to show you guys how to use a lighting board and how to create lighting for a particular show. But first I want to ask you a question. Have you ever watched a show and wondered, how did they do that lighting effect? Or maybe you even thought the same thing about sound. Well, today I want to show you a little bit about actually how to run lights for a show. The first thing I want to tell you guys about is a little story. I saw Mannheim Steamroller for one of their Christmas shows, and that's when I had that aha moment of, wow, I wish I knew how they did those effects. And that's how I got started in lighting, and what really sparked my interest. So today I want to try to spark your guys' interest. There's a few things that you need to know about running lights to begin with. The first thing that you want to think about when you're lighting a show is, who is the audience going to see? So when you think about that, you want to think about not just, oh, they want to see everyone, but who is the most important. The second thing you want to look at is what characters you want to highlight. So that would be, maybe the main character you want to have be the central highlight, but the sub-character, you still want to have them be more highlighted than the ensemble or the people in the background. The third thing you want to look at is how to evoke emotions in your audience. That's a really, really important tool. The last thing would be you want to think about shapes and patterns. The reason why I bring that up is there's a term called gobos, and that is a term for shapes and patterns. That's what lighting designers call them. So when I put a gobo on the stage, I want to add depth to the stage. And I use gobos for that reason, especially in camera work. So we have a church that rents out the facility right now on Sundays. And so I'm going to just go through how to light a church show. So again, the first thing I want to look at is how the audience is going to see it. So I'm going to put on a little bit of full stage lights, just so they can have a hint of full exposure on their face. The next thing I want to look at is highlighting my characters. So those are going to be like the pastor, the band, and even in the band I want to look at who's in the foreground. So I want the main singer to be highlighted just a little bit more than probably the drums would. Now that I have that done, I want to look at evoking emotion. So when I evoke emotion for a church service, it would be completely different than how I would try to evoke emotion from an audience for a musical, like, let's say, Phantom of the Opera. It would be totally different how I would go about that. But for a church service, I'm thinking about primarily the music. So I want to think about what colors, you have blues, that can be kind of a calming feeling, or sometimes it can be a sad feeling. So today I'm going to go with a warmer palette. My R1s, which are a color wash, and I'm going to program them so they can go ahead and be a nice red, which will get that more of that kind of deep emotion that I want coming out. I also am going to play with a few other colors. In the background, I want to add a little bit of this purple so I can kind of smooth it all out and get that church kind of hymn feeling. So the last thing I want to look at would be my shapes and patterns. And those would be my gobos. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up those. And as you can see, I've got these circles that are moving around. And those are going to bring some depth to it when the camera is streaming the church service, because right now people can't be in person because of COVID. So again, with lighting, you always want to start with who your audience is going to see, then highlighting which characters are most prominent, evoking emotion, and then thinking about your gobos or shapes and patterns. Hopefully today you learned a little bit about how to light a church service, or even just how to do lights and colors for a theatrical show.